My name is Remy Sisk. I'm the executive director of Acting Against Cancer. Pronouns are he, him. Acting Against Cancer is a nonprofit, semi-professional theater company in Louisville, Kentucky. Our mission is to change the lives of children touched by cancer through the arts. So we do big musicals throughout the community, usually sort of the more like contemporary cutting-edge pop rock musicals. Pippin, we just did American Psycho, Dogfight, Tick Tick Boom, Rock of Ages, shows like that. And then we also have an after-school children's program where any child can register and they get musical theater instruction twice a week. And at the end of the semester, they put on a show. And any child who's touched by cancer gets to do those for free because we're trying to encourage the arts as a healing method for kids and helping them explore how arts can benefit both their physical and mental health. So that's us. Okay, so as executive director at Acting Against Cancer, I often find myself in the world of producer or director, and then also the world of actor. So I'm going to answer this in two parts because I do so many and they're so different. So as an actor, I was in another company's production of the musical Girlfriend, which is a kind of not so well-known musical set to the music of Matthew Sweet. And it was a story that really was very similar to my own coming out journey. And I think that having an experience as an actor to be able to so deeply connect with a character and then almost be able to relive a part of your life and examine it from every angle brought so much truth and authenticity to my time with that show. And I loved it so much. The other actor was someone who I trust, more than anything. And that also made it really, really positive and easy to really go somewhere that I've never been able to go on stage before. So that one for sure. And then also as a producer director, I recently helmed a production of Pippin. I was the producer because it was my company's opening show. I directed it, and then I also actually was in it. But it was a co-production between us and a Cirque theater group, and overall with the orchestra, the circus, and us, there were over 50 people involved in the show. And it was just really huge. And I think that I was able to really learn from that how kind of anything can be possible when you embrace collaboration and teamwork. And I think so many organizations or producing companies want to do Pippin, but the circus aspect or the magic or whatever route you take with it was really intimidating. And instead of letting that fear dictate how I was going to program my season, instead I was like, I want to do Pippin. How can I do a circus? And that, I don't want to say optimism, but I'd say that maybe drive to make it happen yielded these incredible collaborations, relationships, and made that show something that I can't even believe was real. So that one was really great as a leader, and I would relive that for sure. Okay, well, definitely collaboration. I feel like that is such a buzzword in the arts community, and I think that its definition, collaboration is inherent in any theater production. I mean, unless you are writing, directing, starring, and producing your own show. But I think that really examining how collaboration can not just benefit what you're trying to create, but also hopefully aid in sustainability. Because for example, in Pippin, connecting with Cirque Louis, this incredible organization we worked with, we now have this marvelous team of circus performers and acrobats and aerialists and that we can go to when we want to work on something else, or if we need help with something, or if we want another perspective on something that they could offer. I think now we have an incredible support team in them, and they have that in us. So not only were we able to make Pippin together, but by collaborating with them, we now are able to expand our network of people we care about, invested in our success, and we're invested in theirs. So definitely that collaboration, number one. From Girlfriend, I think that more than anything, and it's so difficult because of the kinds of shows we're usually producing, but the authenticity that I felt acting in Girlfriend is just, it made it unforgettable. It made it singular, an experience that I don't think I'd ever be able to relive. And I think finding authenticity and making that a central mission of a company, and finding, even if it's Mamma Mia or Rock of Ages, which is full of dumb, problematic stereotypes. Where do you find your entry point and connection and make it not just a performance you love, but something you really find a piece of yourself in? And I think that's always easier said than done, because any director can say that. But to really try to put a focus on that and trying to examine where like the Venn diagram of myself and the character intersect makes it something that you just won't be able to duplicate and wouldn't want to, because it will be so authentic to you. So that would be great if we could do that. So collaboration, a focus on authenticity. And finally, I think both of them is just like no fear in what you want to produce, not backing down from the artistic challenge ahead of you. The other company that was producing Girlfriend knew that that show, not a lot of people know it, it's only 2 people. They had a 150 seat theater to fill, I don't even know, like 20 shows or something. So, I mean, that's a challenge. And instead of saying, oh, like, it's not really the moneymaker we're looking for, they took it on and brought in, you know, me and the other guy who are both like in our late 20s. And it's like, you'll play these high school students and we're going to tell this story and commit to it. And that was awesome. And the audiences loved it. It was a full house every night. And it felt so good to be able to say we did that and we conquered that challenge. Similarly with Pippin, to be able to look at that show on paper, even in retrospect, I cannot believe it happened. I mean, it was a 12-piece orchestra, 30-person circus company, a 20-person musical theater company, all the safety rigging, all of that happened, and we weren't afraid of it. And we didn't let the intimidation stop our artistic persistency. We were determined to make Pippin happen, and in not backing down and just blazing ahead and working with as many people as we could, we did make it happen. So I cherish the fact that there were people in the community who were encouraging of it, as opposed to like, oh, you're doing Pippin, well, good luck. Instead, they really built us up and we were able to take on that challenge. So yeah, those 3 things in the theater company: collaboration, authenticity, and no fear, fearlessness. There we go. Think I should pursue something else. You know, I could go down a long list of mishaps. But so in Acting Against Cancer, I obviously am in running the main stage season, but also there's the children's side of everything. And their shows are not, you know, huge spectacles. I mean, we try, they're great. They're formative experiences for the kids, but you know, they're small children. So we just did Frozen Junior in December, just like literally every other children's theater company in the entire world, I feel. But I was really insistent on finding some way in Let It, you know, the Act 1 finale, to like use projections. And I'm like, I want ice on the floor, shooting across the room. Like, it was ambitious. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It was just, I look back on it and I was so committed. And these we had 2 casts, in the older kids and the younger kids, and the students playing Elsa were like, Remy, what am I doing in Let It Go? And I was like, we'll get there. Don't worry. It's gonna be amazing. And, I mean, yes, they are kids, but they deserved to have the rehearsal of that song. That song is very difficult to sing. They are out there all alone. It's the Act 1 finale. All their friends are looking at them. All their friends are like, well, I wanted to play Elsa, so she better do a good job. And I didn't give them that rehearsal time because I was too focused on making some kind of spectacle. And what wound up happening was like Tech Week, like Wednesday before we opened on Thursday, I brought in a friend of mine who rigged a projector, and we did some cool projections. I stayed up all night, like, designing it, and it was cool, but I just felt so misguided by myself. I felt like I followed the wrong path. I feel like I put my determination to give them some, you know, Disney magic eclipsed what they actually needed, which was true instruction and collaboration with them on a performance. And so I don't know that I can say that it pushed me to say I should do something else with my life, but it definitely made me reevaluate where my priorities were and what I was focusing on at the time. I think that I can't get lost in trying to force these kids to live in like a main stage world. I'm not trying to put these kids through, boot camp where they have to stay up all night for the tech rehearsal and make this Frozen happen. So I think it's really more of an understanding of meeting them where they are, which I do feel that myself as well as our other teaching artists do. But obviously, mistakes happen. So I feel like just remembering where they are and what is actually happening here. So removing the focus on things that are kind of inconsequential would definitely be one of the three things I'd leave behind from that experience. Maybe the other was waiting to the last minute, which is also my problem as a producer of main stage or children. Let It Go was not staged till literally before curtain for the older Anna or Elsa. And I think that I work best under pressure, so I tend to let things just kind of percolate until they must be attended to, like right now. And while that makes me, or I guess it fuels me to drive super hard, it probably isn't that pleasant for everyone else around me who has to deal with those consequences of not getting something to work on in advance, like those young Elsas. And then finally, okay, the third thing then would be, I was so, like, from the second we said we were doing Frozen, I was committed to projections and Let It Go. I want ice everywhere. Snow, freezing, Frozen, I'm in Arendelle, it's winter. And I was so committed to it, and I took forever to take action on it. And along the way, I certainly think I probably didn't open my eyes to alternatives of how else can we stage Let It Go. If it's not projections, is it actual like paper snow that falls from the sky? And if so, how do we pursue that? But by having that like sort of myopic mindset of like, we're doing these ice projections, I worry about the things that I didn't pursue. So yeah, so I'd say those three things are making sure focus is aligned with the kids. The second thing I said, which I can't remember, not putting things off, and then also being more open-minded. So yeah, those three things.